Snut released earlier this week a video outlining kind of the future plans for Satisfactory now that it's been fully released. And I have to admit that I was very lucky earlier on this month. Some of you may have spotted it. I was actually invited over to Coffee Stain Studios over in Sweden, in Gothenburg and Gothenburg, to check out the studios and speak with the devs and get some insider knowledge. And you best believe I asked them about Satisfactory 2.0, although Emmett was very quick to confirm that it was just a joke and that Satisfactory 2.0 isn't on the horizon, at least for the time being. That is, not prior to them releasing a substantial DLC, which they have planned, as well as 1.1, the update that will be coming hopefully next year as well. And obviously FICSIT, of course, which we'll talk about shortly. Now, this was, as I mentioned, part of the reason why I haven't been online for the last couple of weeks. And I do apologize. I never intended to be away for as long as I have been, but unfortunately, after going to visit the devs for their launch event of Satisfactory, I came down with a terrible cold, and then we had family visiting from the other side of the world, and I thought it better to focus on getting better and spending time with the family rather than also worrying about and stressing about the work. So I did take 2 weeks off in the end, and I am feeling much better. So hopefully now we're back to the schedule and able to get some regular content out for you over the next couple of weeks. But before I talk about my escapade and the events that unfolded, I did want to do a little bit of housekeeping. So a few of you have been asking about the guided Let's Play series and when the third episode is coming out. Because it takes a lot longer to plan and record these, and then it takes a weekend for my editor to edit them, it's probably going to be 2 weeks until the next one, but that is on my radar to do. Same with the Let's Play series, that takes about 2 weeks. It takes me a good couple of days to record it, and then it takes a weekend to edit it down as well. So probably the next 2 weeks are going to be a little bit quiet on the Let's Play and guided Let's Play front, but after that we should be able to get back into the swing of things. But with that out of the way, let's talk about what happened in Gothenburg. Now, I didn't make as many recordings as I should have while I was there, but I was really just enjoying the moment to its fullest. So I will put some B-roll of the launch event and things that we did whilst we were there, but I will try and summarize everything. Now, I arrived, if I remember rightly, on the Wednesday night. It was pretty late by the time I got there. And we met up with some of the creators and Snut for a drink and some food before finishing off and heading to bed relatively early. So on the second day, we took a train from Gothenburg to Gothenburg, and it was about an hour-long journey through some beautiful scenery. I did get some B-roll of that. And I have to admit, it was apparent that I brought the rain with me because it was absolutely tipping it down. But thankfully, the studios isn't far away from the train station. It was only like 30 seconds walk away. And we entered into this beautiful foyer, which you may recognize from some of the videos from Coffee Stain. And then we had a little bit of a chat about everything before being given this tour around this stunning building, which was 5 floors in total, but we only saw 4 of the floors. Unfortunately, I can't talk too much about the tour because there was a lot of top secret stuff, notably tower defense and doggo jousting. I may or may not be lying about both of those. And after all that top secret stuff, we all gathered in the foyer. There were about 30 of the devs there, and we had cinnamon rolls and coffee and just chatted. It was a really chilled experience, and it was an absolutely fantastic time. I also got to jump into the factory cart, which is an actual working factory cart, though I think I was too heavy for it to drive around. I'd eaten too many cinnamon rolls, but we had a chat with them, and then after that they took us for a little bit of a tour around Gothenburg. They have this street that has various plaques dedicated to the games that have been produced there. And there were certain requirements. So they are big games, and they had to have been developed in that little town. And so you had Goat Simulator, Satisfactory, Valheim. There's one more. There's at least one more. I will show the B-roll because I totally forgotten what it was. But they are some really big games there, and it wouldn't surprise me if half the population of Gothenburg are game developers, because it's this tiny little spot. Anyway, we also went for food and had a really nice time, and then afterwards we returned back to Gothenburg. The next day I realized just how terrible I was at disc golf. I attempted to assassinate involuntarily Snut several times, because every time I aimed at the basket it seemed to go in the opposite direction towards Snut. So I don't know what that says about me. I'm just terribly bad when it comes to accuracy. But after that we went into central Gothenburg for meatballs, which was really nice. It was actually really interesting. They had meatballs, gravy and mash, and then this, I think it was loganberry jam. It's a really odd combination, but it actually works really well. And then after that we went to Coffee Stain Studios office in Gothenburg, which is actually where Snut works and does all the recording for the live streams. I used to think that Snut and Michael were literally next door in just two different rooms. No, they're over an hour away, which blew my mind when I found out. After checking out the office in Gothenburg, we then had a little bit of a walk around Gothenburg, which was really nice, seeing the kind of central downtown area. And then we returned back to the hotel to get ready to go out to the launch event. And the launch event was absolutely incredible. They had, I think, about 250 people there who were either friends of the devs or people who had worked on the game or been part of Coffee Stain from the beginning. And it was a true honor to be invited there and to be able to chat with them and just meet them all. But it was here that I tried to coax information from them. Unfortunately, I clearly rolled a critical fail because I found myself singing karaoke with the team. But what I did find out was about the focus on Fixmas, as well as moving on to Satisfactory 1.1 and then their expansion further down the line. And there wasn't a lot of information that they gave us. In regards to Fixmas, if you've already watched the spill, which was released a few days prior to the event, they did give off a little sneak peek about what's coming. So I'll try and grab some of the information for that. And then I went on to speak to Emmett and the team about 1.1 and any ideas that they had about that. Unfortunately, there isn't much that they had to say on that, other than they want it to be a substantial update. They want it to be something big that really brings something to the game. But there was no real solid information as to what that might be. And I think this was because it's still very much in the planning stages, and they're trying to culminate all the thoughts and ideas that they had that they wanted to bring for 1.0 originally and weren't able to. So what can they bring to 1.1? And I had mentioned, look, that I have been wanting for a while some kind of logic in the game, and it was mentioned that it wouldn't be coming immediately because it's not something that everyone would want, and a lot of the team were interested in pursuing that idea. But if that was something that they were going to do, that would be the kind of thing that they'd want to bring as part of like a free update rather than a paid update. And the reason for that is when it came to the paid DLC, they really want to focus on something that is totally game changing. And the only information that I was given in regards to that was that it would be something similar to the Space Age update with Factorio. Something that really changes the way that you play the game. I'm not saying that's a new map, maybe that is the case. Maybe it's the way that resources are harvested or produced. There are lots of things that it could be, but they were very tight-lipped about that. So we'll just have to wait and see for more information regarding that. But what I did gather from the conversations that I had was that the DLC and the continued success of sales for the game and merch really would dictate how long they were able to support the development of the game. And though the game has been incredibly successful, I think this is a very fair approach to the continued development of the game, giving us something free to play around with, and then really giving us an expansion for us to really get our teeth into. And I think the vast majority of the community would be down for something like that. And honestly, I have a ton of ideas as to what the expansion could be in my eyes, but I would actually love to hear what your thoughts are. Do let me know in the comments below, because perhaps some of the devs are here making sure that I don't let slip who's the best dancer or singer, and perhaps they'll be checking the comments below for some inspiration as to what that might be. So why not? You have nothing to lose, and it may come into the game. Do put it there. But at the end of the day, it was really nice to be able to celebrate the work that the team had done, and to be there and to be able to chat with them, have a drink, and just get to know them a little bit better. And it's obvious that Coffee Stain really care about the team that are working on the game, but also that the devs care about the game and the community. And that was really apparent in Snut's speech. Snut did this wonderful speech talking about how much the game has impacted members of the community. Members like myself who have been able to make a job out of this, members who have used the game as a form of therapy, or that has helped them through difficult circumstances. And perhaps the team didn't realize just how much of an impact their game has had until this moment, but they really have impacted the lives of so many of us. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll be invited back, having now spilt all the beans about the launch event. But more importantly, I'll be getting back into the swing of things with my own content, and you can expect a lot more content on Satisfactory coming over the next couple of weeks. But until then, do make sure to join me over on twitch.tv/Totalxclipse for my live streams, and we'll probably do the live streams to YouTube on the More Total channel as well, once I've started getting everything in order. But guys, special thanks does go to all of our amazing supporters on Patreon, most notably our Lunar Eclipse patrons, Firefless, The Calamity, Ben and Star, and our Blood Moon of the day, which today is King Zoran. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.